All right, what's going on, you guys? This is Kevin, Full Metal Ginger, and yeah, we're going to talk about some vinyl today. Holy hell, I don't even remember the last time we had an LP video on this channel. I'm sure it's not been that long ago, but it feels like forever. Yeah, I mean, I don't really collect the vinyl all that much, and I mean, it's not for any particular reason other than the CDs and the tapes. I can get them for a lot cheaper and get a lot more at one time. So I mean, I do prefer vinyl for the most part, but it's just kind of the reason I go in that direction, is just because I like to be a whore and like take it all all at once. So that's where I go with it. So yeah, I think pretty much the majority of this came from my local record store, Dead Wax, over in Lenore. So I'll leave a link if you just so happen to be in the area. You can go check them out. More on them later. And yeah, we'll get right into her. We'll almost get right into her. If you haven't figured it out already, listen to Immolation-Close to a World Below. I don't know why, I just haven't been really listening to them over the last couple months. Really since about the time I got shut down and quarantined, so it's just been kind of off and on with them. And I just kind of wanted to, refamiliarize myself with them. It's been a minute since I listened to it, but probably my second or third favorite. So, killer album. There isn't a bad Immolation. So yeah, that's why we're listening to that. So before we start talking about the records, I've had a lot of people over the last good while ask me, hey, where's the Battle Jacket updates? You quit doing them. And are we going to get any more? And it was just like, I wasn't going to do any more just because I figured they were pretty much done. I'd maybe switch out a patch here and there, but I wasn't going to do a whole fucking update over it. But then, over the last probably week or so, I've been really getting a hankering to sew some patches for whatever reason. So I went ahead and ordered some more, and I was like, all right, everyone's getting their wish today. I'll make the people happy. Here's your brief Battle Jacket update. Yeah, hopefully it'll keep you satisfied, at least for a while. So I got quite a few patches in, and I'll just run through them real quick. And it's all, pretty much classic stuff. I mean, nothing you haven't been drooling over for years anyway, but let's just kind of keep it classic, at least with my best anyway. So we have a Candlemass, which I've been obsessing over for the last 4 or 5 months. This gigantic Repulsion patch, that one kind of made a problem arise for me, getting into doing the layout on this. Going back to the last video, we've got a Nihilist Premature Autopsy, classic. This one's sick. Sadistic Execution, which I have a hard time saying for whatever reason. And I already had a corner patch, but I was like, nah, screw it, we'll get another one. So there you go. This one's sick as well. In terms of just design and overall visual aesthetic, this is probably my favorite. Lord Gore. That one's killer. Then we have a Demolition Hammer. Can't go wrong there. Mortuary, of course, you can't go wrong there. Crucifier, Cancer, Death Shall Rise, one of my favorite death metal albums ever, and one of my probably at least top 10 death metal bands of all time. Sadistic Intent, not Execution. Mexico Disgorge, and I kind of fucked up on this one because I'd already ordered a Mystifier patch and forgot I had it. And I stuck it in the pocket of my black metal vest, and I was like, oh shit. So I got two now, so I'm going to have to figure out, put one on each vest, I guess. So the problem that came up when I got all these in, especially with that Repulsion patch, I was like, oh man, there is no way I'm going to be able to fit all that in here. And at first I thought I was going to be able to make it fit, maybe pull one or two off and stick them back here where I've got room, but it's just not going to work that way. And I kind of got depressed. I was like, oh fuck, I'm going to have to cut basically every one of these patches off and sew on these other ones. But then I got really excited and I was like, oh fuck, I get to cut all these patches off and sew on these new ones. So, it's kind of like it's a therapy thing for me, and it's just something I actually enjoy doing. So I just figured I'd give you like one last look at it the way it is now. I mean, it's kind of a bummer because I really do like the visual layout of this. Everything really kind of pops out and everything. But I mean, I can always, here's a video of it, so I can always, go back to this at some point in the future if I don't like the new thing. So I'll definitely lay this out before I start cutting and sewing and all that kind of thing. So it is what it is. So yeah, there's your battle jacket update. Hope you're happy. I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just, it's whatever. All right, let's talk about some records. So I've got some 7 inches. I guess we'll start with those first. These actually came from Nuclear War Now, I want to say, and I was just kind of flipping through the 7-inch, category and just see what I'd find, and everything in there was like, yes, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, gotta have it. So the first one I have is the demo from Cerebral Rot-Cessation of Life. I mean, if you're familiar with Cerebral Rot, this is pretty much exactly the swamp-ass death metal that you'd find on Odious Descent. And in fact, I think everything but the title track is on that album, so there you go. That pretty much gives you an idea of what this sounds like on here. Yeah, it's really cool stuff. I want to say this is limited to, I think, 500 copies. This is the Parasitic Records put this out. I think they're the only ones who put out. I don't remember if there's any other kind of like format for this. I know there's this 7-inch and maybe a CD, but I don't remember seeing anything else. So there is Parasitic Records version, which is limited to 500. There is 100 on green, I think, and the other 400 are on black. So I just got the black, but the labels are a nice green. Looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to that. I don't think there's an oh yeah, there is. I forgot it. But yeah, there's nothing much to it, but lyrics and such. Yeah, I mean, it's a simple package. You don't really need to do a lot with it. They give you enough to keep you satisfied and everything else. And still kind of bummed that I haven't been able to get their new EP, but that's whatever. Hopefully I can find a copy at some point. The tapes on the Head Split put out, those went out quick, and it was like, whatever day it was it came out, I want to say it was like a Wednesday or Thursday. I had checked it Wednesday, or whatever day it was I checked before, then did not check it the next day, and then when I checked it again the following day, they had added them and then all sold out, so what's fun. Yeah, got the demo. Very cool. And not to talk about this band again, but I got some more Saccage. This is actually the split they did with Hellacaust. And yeah, I mean, if more Saccage, pretty much. If you don't know, they're a black thrash crust type of band from Montreal, which I've been kind of obsessed with forever. The Holocaust, which I had not listened to, I kept thinking I had, but I was thinking of Survival Instinct for whatever reason. But they're more of a like a dissonant sort of black thrash, if that makes any kind of sense at all. It's sort of like that with that old sort of Norwegian black metal recording style. It kind of sounds like that in terms of the I don't want to call it production, but you kind of know what I mean. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what you get here, and I definitely did look up Morbid. It's just kind of like a very weird sound coming from them, kind of really hard to describe, especially for me. You know how I am at describing music. But it's just on black vinyl, so there's the labels. I can at least show you those, and the jacket is just one of those paper fold-out things, so you just open it up like that. So I guess in a way it's a gatefold. Yeah, I mean, with Saccage, I will get anything they put their name on, just so I can say I have it all. So out of like 9 releases, I think I have 5 now. And some of them other ones, I think their demo was still on Bandcamp last I checked, so I really need to go grab that one. But there's this. And I already had it on CD, but I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have the vinyl too. So there's Vorace. Their 2014 EP. They actually did a compilation with the same artwork, and I think they just added a few more songs. They might have just been live tracks. So, I mean, it's kind of like I'm going to have to get that too at some point, but just to say I have everything they've ever put out. This is also from Torture Garden, who did the split, and it's also one of those fold-out paper things. This is actually their first EP they ever put out, and this is also limited to 500 copies. I don't know if I said that about the split, but it is 500 copies as well. So, yeah, more Saccage in my life. So there you go. Alright. Once again, I've been recording this video, attempting to, 50 times, and already getting hoarse again. Alright, let's talk about some big old 12-inchers. This one was a nice find at the record store. Pretty much everything else in here, I think, came from Dead Wax. I saw this one and immediately grabbed it, just because this is two bands that not necessarily on purpose I've ignored, but it's just like, I'll check them out later, or I'll get that one later, and then just kind of never come back to it. So I got the, when did this come out? Yeah, the 2012 split from Municipal Waste and Toxic Holocaust, appropriately titled Toxic Waste. That's killer. But yeah, great cover art on this one, and then just really simple on the back. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, both bands that I've liked them for years, and it's just I kind of never got around to picking up their stuff, especially Municipal Waste. They were a grower for me for whatever reason. Maybe it's just like they were a little bit more on the punk side, which was kind of, you know, for me at least, I hadn't delved that much into punk, so I wasn't gonna. I don't know how to explain it. It was just felt like, I don't know if I'll really be into them. I would listen to a song or two and really dig it, and then I figured, you know, I'll probably hate the rest of the album, so I didn't give them much of a chance. The Toxic Holocaust I've always loved, and it just kind of, I'll get them later, and you know how that works out for me. So yeah, not very nice split. And I mean, to be fair, I do prefer the Toxic Holocaust stuff, but Municipal Waste is a band that's really growing on me, and I'm at the point now that I am with Saccage. I'll get anything I can from them. So there's just your basic inner sheet. Speed metal punks, very cool. And the vinyl is the best part about it. So turns out they've done like 5 different represses of this album, or reissues, whatever. And as far as as my information would tell me, is as much as I could track down. I'm pretty sure this is one of the third, one of the third pressing. And I think all of those were limited to 400 copies, I want to say. No, there was well, this color anyway. This color variant is like a slime green. This one was limited to 400, and they had like one for 200, which I forget what the color was, and one for 100. And they've kind of done that with pretty much every reissue they've done on these. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of like, I knew it wasn't going to be an original press just because it was in such good shape when I picked it up at the store, but still, it's whatever. I mean, it's really not that big a deal, because at least on pretty much every single repress they've done, it's been some kind of wild color. And I mean, I could go either way. I do like the color stuff. I mean, it's not majorly important, but when you get something like this, it's really cool. And they've tried to do that with pretty much every repress they've done on this album, or split anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And it's just you know, if you're like me and taking forever to start checking stuff out from this band, or both of these bands, it's a good place to kind of start looking. So, all right, move stuff around here. All right, for all you dudes out there, and all you ladies too, you really want to put some hair on your chest? I got something for you. Manowar, fuck yeah, look at this. There is nothing manlier than this album cover. Look at that, an eagle with abs. This has got to be like the cheesiest thing I've ever seen. Or at least, I mean, it's up there for sure. But yeah, the debut from Manowar came out back in '82. Pretty sure this is an OG copy on Liberty Records. And you can definitely see the ring wear in it and everything. Yeah, I've been kind of really wanting to expand my horizons a little bit, and Manowar was at the top of the list of some things I needed. Just to kind of, you know, mix it up a little bit. I've been looking for some cheese. I really dig the cheese. Gotta have it. It brightens my day. I absolutely love it. So this is more of a pretty much a straightforward rock album. The whole power metal stuff wouldn't come to a little bit later on. I still like this album. I mean, it's a fun listen. Just looking at it, it cracks me up. That is so freaking ridiculous. Yeah, Battle Hymns. And there's the back. You can see where they were going to end up. But yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is an original copy. Don't think there's an inner sheet or anything, and the record's, of course, just going to be on black, so it's just whatever. But yeah, like I was saying, really wanted to kind of expand the horizons, and this popped up at me, and it's been one of the bands I was like, I have to have me some Manowar in my life, so I grabbed this up immediately. So if you haven't checked it out, I've actually got a tape in here somewhere that I'm getting ready to show soon, which is definitely more of their power metal stuff, so I'll get to that one eventually. And speaking of power metal, it's not really a genre that I've really looked into much. It's just, I don't know, it's just never really clicked with me, the little I have heard. And So I've been kind of like, trying to figure out, okay, let's really give this an honest shake. Let's just grab a few things that I know are considered all-time classics and just go with it, and see if it finally grips you. So I grabbed this one, Helloween-Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 1. I think this is their second full length, and to be honest, I haven't listened to this one yet. I'm still trying to get through the stack, honestly, and I've listened to most of it, but haven't quite gotten through this one yet. Just gotten to it anyway. So yeah, I know there's a lot of people out there that are really big Helloween fans. I know Eli's a big power metal fan to begin with. Yeah, it's just one of those genres again that it's just never really clicked with me. So I knew of this album. I've seen this before. I know this is considered pretty much the album that kind of ushered in Euro power metal, and I figured I'd give it a fair shake and kind of check it out, and we'll see how it goes with me. I want to say this might be an OG as well. This is the 87 release on Noise International, which is when this album came out. It was 87, so but yeah, like I was saying, I just kind of wanted to, if I'm going to give it a fair shake, I want to start with a band that I know is beloved, and just kind of go from there. The record is, of course, on vinyl, or the record's on vinyl, guys. The record is, of course, black, so I won't show you that, but the record sleeve for it is really cool. I love these cartoons they do, and pretty much most of their stuff anyway. So yeah, the record is on vinyl. So I'll get around to listening to this and maybe give you an update on it, how I've thought about it, or I can at least post something on social media. So if you follow me on those, you might see that at some point. So I didn't want to say too much without actually having listened to it. So now trying to get into punk hardcore. I've asked a few people around what I should get. This one has been on my list anyway, but I've actually seen this at Dead Wax for quite a while, and finally I was like, all right, today's the day. We're grabbing it. We're going to take this one home. Misfits-Earth AD. Pretty sure this is their second full length, if I'm not mistaken. I know it goes by, Earth AD and Wolfsblood as well, so it's kind of, everyone just calls it Earth AD. It's what I've always called it, so we'll just go with that. And I think this is the last album, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is, the whole punk thing is not a genre I'm knowledgeable about at all. I want to say this is the last one with Danzig on it. And if I'm not mistaken, I know Blood Feast and maybe Demonomania were I think there were songs that he was going to put on Sam Hain, that he added them to this album in order to try to keep the band going or whatever, something like that. And it just kind of didn't really work, but it's whatever. Put out on Plan 9, which I think was his label. I don't know if he's still doing it. Again, this is not my area of expertise, but yeah, I mean, it's an album I've been needing for a while and finally decided to get it. Yeah, pretty sure this one's on black as well, but you can check out the labels. If I can turn them the right way, I'm sorry. There you go. So, artwork is great, of course. And I haven't got around to listening to this one either for whatever reason. I mean, I've heard it before, but since getting this in, I don't think it's made it to the turntable yet for whatever the reason. So, especially with me and you can listen to what was it? Fuck. Now I can't remember. American Psycho. You can listen to American Psycho, another thing. Yeah. So it's getting there. I will get around to it. I promise. Alright, so I was leaving the store, and Chris, who runs the store, I was like, I've been talking to a lot of people online, some of my, other YouTubers, and I was like, dudes, I want some punk. I want to try to see if this will click with me. I've always been intimidated by it because I had known about all these bands for years, but never knew quite where to start, where was a good entry-level band, so it's just, I never really delved into it, and I was telling this to Chris, and he took the time out to go over to the whole punk section and just run me through basically everything, and come to find out I knew the majority of the bands, or at least heard of them, and he was just trying to give me some pointers where to start, and he pointed me to a bunch of things, and I just kind of settled on this, which a lot of people said, hey, good choice. White Flag, the first 4 years. So this is just a collection of everything they did, or not everything, I mean a lot of what they did before Henry Rollins was in the band, so you get a good look at everything up until that point. And and I think it's pretty much just a collection of their EPs, I want to say. Yes, you got Nervous Breakdown on here, Jealous Again, 6-pack, and then I think a couple singles. Yeah, Cracks in the Sidewalk, Louie Louie's on here. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it when I played it. It's still not really gripped me like, you know, it might sometime down the line. So I gotta spend a little bit more time with it. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to try something that I knew was kind of a legendary type of band. I've known Black Flag for years, so again, just on black. So there's the label there, and yeah, no inner sheet or anything like that. So. But yeah, I'm at least trying and making an attempt at it. I don't really know how I feel about this just yet, but it's definitely, I wouldn't say I hate it. I wouldn't say I absolutely love it either, but I wouldn't say it's just okay. So I'm kind of, I dig it. You know, we'll go with that. So I probably just need to hear more stuff and just give this more turns. I've listened to it 2 or 3 times at this point. So yeah, I'll figure it out at some point. I know a lot of people are sitting there screaming, like, oh my god, you've never heard Black Flag, da 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 da. You can check out all these bands. So yeah, if you want, please leave me some entry-level bands to check out, and keep it entry-level, because I don't want to like jump into super underground stuff and then kind of get lost trying to, oh, you've heard this band, but how have you not heard these 3 who are fucking legendary, you know? So yeah, leave that stuff down in the comments, and I'll get around to it eventually. So Black Flag. All right. These last 2 are albums I'd already owned for years, and you know, it's like going to the record store is almost like going to a pet store. You know, you see these cute, adorable animals or records that you love, and you just want to take home with you. Give them a good home. You don't want them sitting there in the store, and at least in this case, collecting dust. So it was there, so I had to get them. You know, what else am I going to do? I'm not just going to leave it there. Poor things. Give them a good home. So we have Morbid Angel, Blessed Are the Sick. Yeah, I thought I'd shown this already, and I had to. It's another one I had to backtrack and try to figure out if I had talked about it before, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. So yeah, I mean, in terms of Morbid Angel, this is my second favorite album. Altars of Madness, I'm one of those people. It's my favorite one, but this is a very, very close second. And when I went to see them back in 2014, I was just stoked to hear them start to play Fall from Grace. I was really wanting to hear that song more than basically any other one. And they played that song, and I was in heaven. I could die happy at that point. So that's basically, I mean, you all know this album. And this is one of my favorite photos of all time. This is so cheesy. I mean, that's one of my favorite things about the whole metal, just the cheese factor going in with it. And again, I'm fairly certain, yep, this is on black as well. And it's one of those, the lyric sheet is also the record jacket. So, there you go. Need I really say more? I mean, it's all-time classic. How do you guys feel about Covenant? Everyone seems to be just in love with that album, say it's their favorite Morbid Angel. And I'm just like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it that much. I really think Altars and Blessed Are the Sick are better. Even Domination, I think that one's better. So, I mean, that's just me. But let me know in the comments. Alright, and finally, another one I was like, well, I can't just leave it there. Give it a good home. And this one's really, really nice. Obituary-Slowly We Rot. On a very, very nice matte. And I just love matte. Matte covers. There's the word I was looking for. Yeah, and this one comes out really, really good, especially with these colors. We all know this album. I don't really need to say anything about it. Classic all-time Florida death metal. Their most notorious, their most celebrated, I would say. And yeah, another band I was really happy to see and get them checked off the whole death metal list, at least the classic bands. And again, it's just on black vinyl. So yeah, in terms of visual aesthetics, I think we've kind of shit the bed on this update, but it's whatever. So yeah, Obituary-Slowly We Rot, you know it. And that's it for me. There's so much stuff in here that I'm by the time I get around to showing it, everyone's gonna be like, you're just now showing this? And I've had it probably the same time as most everyone else. So I don't even know what's coming next. Again, I should probably knock out some tapes, but again, I should probably knock out some CDs. The whole CD list, stuff I haven't shown yet, it's really piling up. So, yeah, eventually. But in the meantime, I've got old videos you can check out. I'll have a few of them pop up right in here somewhere at some point in the next few seconds. Yeah, that's all I got. Subscribe if you want. Let me know in the comments everything, in terms of punk bands you want me to check out, and I will get around to it eventually. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the vinyl update. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.